Thanks once again for dropping by the channel. If you like the content, if you're new to the channel, please hit subscribe, share the video if you enjoyed it, if you felt it was useful. Now let's get into this. So, self-isolation, lockdown is still going on strong here in Ireland. We will be 2 weeks away from figuring out if the lockdown is going to get, not necessarily lifted, but eased, come what May the 5th, which is a Tuesday. Signs are, and it's unknown at this stage, but given the fact that other countries in Europe are starting to ease their restrictions, I'm hoping Ireland follows suit, because they were quick over here. Like, we were quick over here to start shutting things down, It was the week before Paddy's weekend was when most companies started, getting their employees to work from home. So they've been on the ball the last month. So hopefully that means that we can get these restrictions, at least relaxed, hopefully. And that would mean we'd obviously get to maybe see some sports if we start to see other countries relax their restrictions. And finally, we're starting to hear some news of potential fights that we may yet get to see. Now, Eric Gomez of Golden Boy has come out and said that officially Canelo Alvarez versus Billy Joe Saunders, as we all know, this fight was in the pipeline for May the 2nd. There was widespread speculation about this fight, when it was going to get announced, etc, etc. We heard Billy Joe potentially making in the region of 8 million, and it was believed that when DAZN come to the UK and Ireland, which I'm assuming is going to get pushed back now, this was going to be the fight. If you want to see Billy Joe versus Canelo, essentially you have to get the DAZN app. This was going to launch the DAZN market in the UK and Ireland. Obviously we never got an announcement on that fight. Obviously the coronavirus has put a stop to all sporting events, including boxing, so we never got a chance to get that fight announced or finalised. Eric Gomez has said that a deal was never finalised and that there was no contract signed. So apparently there was never any contract for Canelo versus Billy Joe signed. When was it? It would have been the start of March, when all kind of hell broke loose, as they say, basically, when all this came about. He added, though, that Billy Joe Saunders will be one of the names considered when they look at Canelo's first fight back. Now, Canelo has been a fighter who, over the last few years, obviously last year it was a bit different, he kind of followed the Floyd Mayweather route. So he would fight in May and then fight in September. That was usually, occasionally he would fight a third fight at December, depending on how the year went and how tough the opponent was. Obviously he done that against Rocky Fielding, but Rocky Fielding, was no real threat to Alvarez back then in 2018. So they've named Billy Joe as potential first opponent for Canelo back. Now you would imagine that would be in September, because I would imagine regardless whether or not boxing starts back in June, July, you would imagine Canelo is pretty much, he's away until September, you would imagine anyway. It's Mexican Independence weekend, the first weekend, or the weekend of September that he normally fights. Now we heard that Triple G, that was the rubber match, was all but confirmed for that weekend, in September, provided both guys win. We also heard rumours that if boxing was back on in early June, we potentially could see Billy Joe versus Canelo. Obviously that's gone tits up now, we're not going to see that. And it was also reported that if Billy Joe versus Canelo doesn't happen, then it's going straight to the Triple G fight. Now I would imagine the Triple G fight is the one DAZN want. It's not as marketable. I don't think it is. If you're trying to sell your app to UK public, Irish public, essentially European market, potentially Triple G versus Canelo 3 could do that, although I definitely think that you would get more of a boost, certainly in UK sales, if you had a UK fighter in there. Now, Eric Gomez was talking to Sky Sports, who we gave the interview with. He did say that he was hoping to get Canelo out in different countries, because Canelo's only ever fought in the US and Mexico, and he wants Canelo to be an internationally based superstar, because Canelo is the biggest star in world boxing. That's goes without saying. They named the UK and Japan, obviously. There's no way Billy Joe is going to face Canelo in the UK. Not because Canelo won't go, it's because the Billy Joe has his issues with the British Board of Boxing Control. So if they were to do that fight next, it wouldn't be in the UK. Maybe the British Board of Boxing Control will turn the other cheek knowing Canelo was coming over, because it's a big payday for everyone involved. But I would imagine that fight in the UK anyway is off the table. Now, should that fight happen in the US, I think it will definitely drive up sales, at least for DAZN coming to Europe, coming to the UK and Ireland in particular, because I'd be purchasing the app regardless who he was fighting, personally, because I think it's a very good deal. You know, you're talking about, I think £5 is about €6 over here, which is a very good deal considering all things considered, and it's a pretty safe bet, I should say, that the Zone will eventually take over Matchroom UK, as in Matchroom UK and the Zone will work together. So essentially it means that we won't pay a Sky subscription, and my Sky subscription for Sky Sports it makes me cry when I see the money leave my account every month, because of how dear it is, and how if it wasn't for boxing, I really wouldn't need Sky Sports. Now, I have my darts on the app, which I can get all the televised tournaments on and the non-televised tournaments on. It's really boxing that I need Sky Sports for. So, you know, it'd definitely be a good thing. But with regards to Billy Joe versus Canelo next, they're saying it could potentially be his first fight back. I can't really see it personally. I just can't say. I think there's too much emphasis on the Triple G rematch, or the trilogy fight. I think the Zone want that fight. You know, it was widely known last year that the Kovalev fight was the next fight the Zone wanted. You know, what I mean by that is that they were happy for Canelo to fight Kovalev. They also wanted to fight Triple G. So if he couldn't get Kovalev, Triple G, or vice versa, when they was talking Munguia and guys like that, the Zone, I think, were almost admitting that they weren't really interested in that. They wanted to see Canelo versus Kovalev or Triple G. So I would imagine that the heads of the Zone would probably want the Triple G fight regardless, because to them that's, you know, a big money fight for everyone involved. But again, we need to see how boxing is when all this ends, because let's not forget, people, everywhere is going to take a hit. Sports are taking a hit. You know, we're seeing in, you know, the EFL, there are teams, they haven't announced any on Sky Sports, I don't think, but there are teams in the EFL, you know, the leagues in the UK, who are struggling seriously. So we're seeing the football team struggle. We're seeing, you know, boxing struggle. I mean, there's a lot of boxers who aren't getting paid at the minute because there's no fight coming up. So we're seeing a lot of sports struggle. We're seeing a lot of businesses struggle. There's businesses who are absolutely crippled by everything that's going on. So we'll have to see how boxing is when this all comes back, and we see kind of, you know, how much money there is on the table, you know, for a sport like boxing and stuff like that. So they're all things to be taken into consideration. But I'm just reporting on this. It's nice to hear of potential fights being, you know, mentioned again in the pipeline, and definitely I would love to see. I wouldn't mind seeing Canelo versus Billy Joe. I think Canelo would win that fight. I think he'd probably stop Billy Joe, but it's still an interesting fight for me. So, you know, those are my thoughts on this. Let me know yours down below. Let me know your thoughts on Canelo versus Billy Joe. Do you give Billy Joe a shot in that fight if and when it takes place, or are you like me who thinks Canelo will win it? And, you know, I've said it, I think Canelo stops Billy Joe, but let me know your thoughts. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe of course if you are new. Stay safe, people. So before I go, I just want to say thank you for dropping by the channel. I really do appreciate it. I mean, all the support, all the things that have happened on this channel over the last year have been incredible. If you're new to the channel, as you see on screen there's a couple of like older videos that I have. Some of them aren't really relevant now, to be fair, but some of them are, like my Fighters with a Problem series, stuff like that. If you like any of this, please subscribe. Like the video you just watched, share it, do it, all you gotta do. Let's try and keep this channel going, because I love doing this and I love interacting with the fans, and I love hopefully the fans love watching my videos. So thank you for dropping by. I've been G-Man. I will talk to you.